Ireland has a plan to enhance lives and give every citizen the chance to be included, connected, educated and informed. It's called the National Broadband Plan and aims to deliver high-speed broadband to every home in the country. To many, words like broadband, internet and digital can be off-putting. Into others, those words strike real fear. This fear of change is being confronted by the plan, and film producer David Puttnam is passionate about the advantages of living in what is becoming a digital age.
And my job is to try and persuade people to be less fearful. Or put it another way, my job is to persuade people to be more courageous.
David Puttnam's hometown of Skibbereen in West Cork has just been powered with very high-speed broadband. But do the locals even care? And will it make any real difference?
I'm not sure I and we generally have done a good enough job at showing how the opportunity far outweighs the fear.
Rural Ireland talks of the need to fight back, and Skibbereen wants to lead the way.
We don't want to stay the digital capital of Ireland anymore. We want to stay the digital capital of the world. You know, you might laugh, I don't see it that way.
Skibbereen is a remote market town located 80 kilometres from Cork City. A beautiful, easygoing place frequented by tourists seeking to recharge and slow down. It's a place loved by its own people too, but many here are born and raised to leave. The generational exodus from Skibbereen and West Cork goes back to famine times when thousands left for America. Since then, the young have tended to leave in search of sustainable careers elsewhere. It's almost like a rite of passage around here.
I don't see any reason why a young person born and brought up and educated in a rural community should have any less opportunity than someone born and brought up in the middle of Dublin. And that I do think I have a passion for. So yes, the notion that you can level the playing field, the notion that you could create a situation where if somebody wishes and chooses to work where they were born and brought up, they ought to be able to. And they should not be either driven off the land or driven overseas because of a lack of opportunity. That seems to me wrong.
But change is afoot in Skibbereen and a number of other rural towns. As part of Ireland's National Broadband Plan, these towns are being connected with a high-speed broadband so fast they're on a par with tech cities around the world. But will the locals here embrace it or know what to do with it?
I wouldn't have it been like that in the house. I sure I'd never feel safe in everything.
I think the parallel is precisely that with rural electrification. I mean, there are some wonderful films that were made in the 50s about the impact of electrification on rural Ireland. And it did transform lives, there's no question. It got rid of vast areas of drudgery. A lot changed, a hell of a lot changed, and it's happening again.
Now, more than ever before, our prosperity depends on progress, and progress depends on power.
I've lived in Skibbereen, 26 years now? I remember when I was first here, people said, oh, of course, you'll be here for 10 years and you'll go away again. So I think I'm kind of surprised there, maybe even surprised myself, that I certainly am. I'm here for the long haul.
At 75, David is working as hard as ever in the film business, while also a consultant for foreign governments in areas like education and trade. His expertise was recognised by the Irish government in 2012 when asked to take on a voluntary role as Ireland's first digital champion.
And I think if I've got one serious job I could do for the government, it is to make very clear to as many people as possible that not changing is no longer an option.
In order to exploit the availability of powerful broadband in Skibbereen, key business people are shaking things up, investing their time and their money, starting up Ireland's first ever rural digital hub, making Skibbereen a hotspot for technology startups and an attraction to multinational companies to locate here and create jobs. This facility will be called the Ludgate Hub, named in honour of Percy Ludgate, a local computer pioneer who designed an early computing device over 100 years ago.
When you have people like Anne O'Leary, CEO of Vodafone, and Sean O'Driscoll, the boss of heating giant Glen Dimplex, you know an important project is being planned.
And the centre beside us will be called the Ludgate Digital Centre. It will have the most advanced broadband technology in the country. It will have 4G telecommunication systems, and it will have 75 working desks here in the centre of Skibbereen.
Everyone involved in the Ludgate project has done so freely, including the local supermarket owner who donated the building.
We have a lot of experience watching the young people. Many of them have worked part-time with us until such time as they go to college, and then we don't see many more except at Christmas or holidays. And I'd like to think that we'd be able to keep our young people at home.
This historic building, donated by local business owner John Field, was initially built as a cinema. Now a different kind of big picture is transforming this space into a technological hotspot, one that will foster new ideas, enterprise, and most importantly, economic self-reliance for Skibbereen.
I think about this, I wake during the night often and think I hope that everything we're doing is going to work out very well. Am I confident? I am confident that it will work out well, but the doubt is still there.
I and many other people have complained for years about the Skibbereen always seemed to feel it had missed out, was being left out. And it was, could we create something that symbolically was not just as good as, but better than anything else that had been done anywhere else in West Cork, and kind of get over this business of it being a, in a way, a kind of second-class town in a first-class region. And that was the idea, and I think to actually beyond any of our wildest dreams, we pulled it off.
This is what just makes the whole place.
It does.
It's a warehouse, it was a cinema, it was a bakery, and today it's a digital hub. Yeah, we have the projectors, and we're looking at maybe putting them on both corners, so that when you're sitting here, you'll be able to look at the projectors, and maybe you might even look to doing a bit of filming again. And
who knows? What I'm learning is there is a fear factor, that most of that fear factor is not real, but people do need help. They just do need encouragement and help.
I'd agree.
More than I'd realised, actually.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have a kind of an information evening for the community, even people not coming into the building, because we're well better off if everyone in the community knows what we're about, spreading the word,
The expression of interest that I enjoyed most, and it's still the one that makes me very happy, is the man who has his desk in Barcelona and wants to relocate to Skibbereen and move house and live in Ballyhob, and I thought it was just perfect.
As the Ludgate team attempts to drum up the interest and support of the Irish diaspora, David is keen to meet with some of the more traditional local businesses and to find out about their attitudes to online trading.
What I kind of realised is that a lot of my thinking is based on going to conferences, dealing with governments, and it's kind of slightly Olympian, Don't know enough about the way that ordinary people, my own community, my own neighbours, feel about both the challenges and the opportunities. And to be honest, I feel slightly guilty. Why haven't I had them before? Why is it taking till now?
First stop, the Skibbereen Farmers Market.
Are there aspects of the digital environment that are really useful to you?
A really simple example would have been yesterday I met two Canadians. The reason that they were in the market in Clonakilty yesterday is because they Googled it. Where's the market,
Digital.
Digital.
Okay, digital.
I'm the man. There's nothing I don't do with a computer.
So,
I even chat to my wife some nights the other side of the room.
Well, it's so much easier.
And say, can you make the tea?
How do I feel about digital world?
More fear than opportunity, more opportunity than fear.
Oh, definitely more opportunity. I mean, here we are, we're isolated. What we need to do is reach out digitally. This is what we do, we run a business in West Cork.
It's that much easier because of...
Couldn't be done without it.
There's the two Canadians right there.
Those ladies.
They're the ones I met yesterday. Come here.
Gerald was just saying that, in fact, you got to know of the existence of the marketplace in Clon, or this one, online.
Online, we did. Yeah, absolutely.
How much of the trip that you've just organised yourself with has resulted from exploring online?
Oh, tons of stuff. A lot of the shops that we've stopped in have been tiny little places in the middle of nowhere that we found online before we got here.
One Skibbereen business our Canadian visitors will not find online is Eileen O'Sullivan's toy shop on Main Street. O'Sullivan's is typical of many shops in the town. It's just not exploiting the potential of an online presence.
I've got this funny job. It's Ireland's digital champion.
Right.
Is what they call me. Ireland's lagging behind the rest of Europe. We're running at about 20% of Irish businesses are operating online, whereas the rest of Europe, it tends to be about double that, around 35, 40%.
Yeah.
So I'm under the cosh to try and improve that.
Brilliant. I thought I was about the only one who didn't have a website and stuff nowadays, but...
Far from it. Would I be right in assuming that one of the things that's delaying the development of the digital economy is actually just fear, that people are fearful of the implications of it, fearful of making themselves look foolish, fearful of making mistakes? How much is fear a factor in all of this?
Yeah, absolutely. Completely overwhelming at times. But when we got Skype in, simply because our daughter was in New Zealand, I thought, this is very easy, and click this and that, and we can see them in New Zealand and see our grandchildren. It's amazing, absolutely amazing.
Am I right in sensing that, partly to do with Ludgate, there is a sense of energy in the town and a sense of confidence in the town that's been missing for quite a long while?
Oh, I think you're right.
It is interesting how one thing seems to have suddenly got people to understand that the future's going to be different from the past, but actually could be better.
Yeah, it's going to be better. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think if we can all open up to many more customers, it's going to be fantastic.
The problem with human beings is very simple. If you offer them an opportunity and a fear simultaneously, they will focus on the fear. It's completely human. And I'm not sure I, and we generally, have done a good enough job at showing how the opportunity far outweighs the fear, and that most of the fear is unwarranted, unfounded.
A fear of change can, for some, be really crippling. But why should small businesses go online? And what's to be gained by doing so? Some local e-commerce experts explain.
Your business goes global. It's good for your image and your business will grow.
It would provide better customer support.
You can locate anywhere. You can still compete.
You cut your costs. Your business is open 25 hours a day.
Wisdom there from the future business brains of Skibbereen. But what about the views of a more traditional West Cork outlet? The Southern Star newspaper was launched 127 years ago and still publishes a weekly edition for the West Cork region, priding itself on keeping one eye on global affairs and another on matters closer to home. The paper has survived the recent erosion of the traditional print media market by diversifying and developing an online profile. David is meeting the paper's managing director, Sean Mahan, to get a sense of how some small to medium enterprises in the region have adapted to a changing retail environment.
We work with a lot of businesses, obviously, across this region, across West Cork. And we find that some are much more tuned in and much more switched on to how they are promoting their businesses across the whole of the mix, whether it's offline or online, etc. And then we're finding some that are definitely behind the curve on it, or maybe lacking in the skills or the information or the confidence to take their business and put it in the shop window digitally, as well as through the more traditional means of
Okay, so I'm called National Digital Champion. Mm-hmm. What more could I or should I be doing? I do go to bed at night thinking that in some areas we're doing okay, and in some areas I'm really, really disappointed. How could I raise my game, both locally and nationally, to improve things?
I think it's really, with some of them, it is about starting at the basics, and I think it's about education and enabling those people and confidence.
The digital world is very much here. It's a concept here more than a reality. It's that much harder. You live in Dublin, live in Belfast, live in London. It's part of your day-to-day reality. That is not the case here. Here it's trying to use your imagination to see how the digital world, this thing in the ether, can actually make both your life easier and your business more profitable.
In order to get this message out, the Ludgate team have arranged a presentation to the locals. The purpose? To dispel any fears of the unknown and to fire up support for Skibbereen becoming Ireland's first rural digital hub. Ludgate won't succeed in its aims unless the locals here take ownership of the idea.
We have a number of community projects, and it's trying to get absolutely everybody thinking digital. So we want everybody thinking, what can you do with that connectivity? How can you connect out with people using it?
Skibbereen is as good a place in the world to actually set up a business. In fact, it'll be a very attractive place for if you're an entrepreneur in Vancouver. There's no reason why now you wouldn't actually consider relocating your business here. And we would be encouraging you, if you have your own kids abroad, or relations or friends in the States or Australia, Germany, wherever, is getting everybody to get into the business of actually promoting Skibbereen with the brand that we've developed.
I was out in Dallas before Christmas, and there was a guy from Cork there, and he said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "From Castlehaven." I always say Castlehaven, by the way. Just get my own back there in a minute. But I said, the office in Skibbereen. He said, the digital capital of Ireland. So we don't want to stay the digital capital of Ireland anymore. We want to stay the digital capital of the world.
I think, judging by the mood last night and judging by the enthusiasm and the quality of the people we have running Ludgate, I think the opportunity to carry people with us, the opportunity to ensure that everyone that wants to be almost re-educated, everyone who wants to be part of the digital journey we're all on, does have that opportunity. If we can pull that off, then I think the opportunities here in Skibbereen are boundless.
We always said, let's see if we can create this blueprint, what hasn't been done in rural areas before. So we've been contacted by about 15 towns all over Ireland, from Longford, Dungarvan, Westmeath, Kerry, Galway, Mayo, just saying, we have this empty post office, we have an empty Garda station, they've all been closed down, what can we do with them? So the number one piece of advice is it has to be from the bottom up, it has to be from the community, and gather your community together and see what your strengths are and what can connectivity do for those as well.
The Ludgate hub is advancing quickly, and some of the town's traders are already beginning to see its benefits. Sean Murray Fashions has been in business for over 40 years, but like many other outlets, the shop is finding it hard to survive. To give his business a fighting chance, Sean has created a buzz and generated interest by taking a colourful route to potential customers.
Anything for an extra buck? Perfect.
Yeah, ready.
Oh, jeez. That was a big delivery, lads. We got a big delivery of suits there this morning with fierce steels. You can get a 2-piece suit. But I need a shirt with it. Short. Any dicky bow or any tie you want. 210. 3-piece suits. Look at that. At Sean Murray Fashions, we're having a knockout sale. I generally get the ideas in the middle of the night. Something springs to mind, and you said, yeah, you could play with that.
Sean's promotional videos regularly attract up to 25,000 views on Facebook.
People seem to talk about it.
People seem to like it, yeah. They come in to slag us, but they don't normally spend them when they come in to slag us. So.
The difficulty for this retailer is that he's still not converting these online views into online sales.
If you want your bang for your buck, go to Sean Murray Fashions Skibbereen for the suit deal of your life. We were going to go selling online for one reason or another. Just the timing wasn't right. We decided against it. And when Ludgate Stroke, the East Street organisers came into us offering the East Street platform to us, we said, yeah, now's the time to go for it, and we're embracing it.
In the first of its kind in Ireland, local Skibbereen traders, many of them fiercely traditional, have joined forces to create an online shopping website called eStreet. And Ludgate is helping them with practical support along the way.
This eStreet model, what we want to do, it's going to be seamless to the customer. So if you want to go in and you want to buy from 3 different shops, you only have to have one shopping cart and you have one payment.
The E Street site launches fully before the end of the year, but in the meantime, Grania and Gillian from Ludgate are helping local traders to create clever marketing strategies that make the most of the social media sites that customers are already using freely.
60% of your posts and content should be about things relative to your audience, not necessarily 100% plugging your stock.
They are definitely an eclectic bunch. You've got people who are much more skilled on computers, and then you've got, Eileen, who would be, relatively new to the whole arena.
It's just get on board now, or else give up. And I'm getting this opportunity with all the support from Ludgate and everything, and I'd be a fool not to take it.
Yeah. Once they start to see the benefits and the money coming in from all those products online, and particularly when they're at home asleep, that's, we'll be saying ching ching, These are the leaders of Skibbereen, and I think once people see that they're successful and that the project has been successful, then they'll all start to kind of come around, and we'll get more people coming on board. Bye. Thanks for coming.
Exactly 1 year on from the launch of the Ludgate plans, the final touches are being added before the official launch of the hub by Minister Mary Mitchell O'Connor. The centre is already up and running, accommodating both local and global businesses, future coders and the wider community. Four-legged visitors are welcome too. The hub was a former cinema, and its old projector has been given pride of place.
See, loaded up in there. That's wonderful. It gives the building a narrative, places the building within its own history, which is important. Now think about this. That's where the spools would be. I spent my life carrying 10 of these around the world. Wherever you went with a movie, 10 of them. Then you do a double spool, it would be 5 of them. All of that information is now contained in that. I mean, I've broken my back carrying cans of film around the world. Jesus, I could have really saved myself. This is it. After, 18 months of effort, it's actually opening. It's amazing. It was an idea, and today it's a hub, and hopefully beginning of something very, very important for this town.
This has been a genuine community achievement. All of the effort has been voluntary with minimal financial support from the government.
It's raising up rural towns from their kind of downbeaten attitude of nothing can happen to this can happen. So this is making the impossible possible, and this is the example of it. And my message really to other towns and villages is this can happen. So, it doesn't have to be a digital hub. The connectivity will change everything in your town.
That's excellent. I'll lay this way. That's great.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to officially launch the Ludgate Hub Town in Skibbereen, #1GigabitTown. And I wish the team and everyone involved with the project every success in the future.
For the first time ever, I think we're going to be able to keep the young people at home. We give them the connectivity, we give them the space, we have the factories, we have the buildings, the offices, and I hope that this will keep them in West Cork, where a lot of them would like to stay.
And I think the community here at Skibbereen believe themselves, quite rightly, to own this project. Now, the fact that they believe they own this project means it's going to outlast me, it's going to outlast Sean O'Driscoll, it's going to outlast John Field.
And Skibbereen has elevated itself too. It now has Ireland's first rural digital hub with a blueprint for rural regeneration that can be shared with other towns across the country and further afield. If you'd like help and resources to do more online, visit our website makingirelandclick.ie or follow on Facebook or Twitter.